I think it's important in any job, but especially in music and in a creative field, that you go into it for the right reasons, because it's going to show, and it's going to show in the lack of heart.
Probably one of the bigger challenges is just getting people to listen to you and not just pass it off, because I think with MySpace and all the internet stuff, it's just, there's so many bands going around that people just listen to half a song and then move on, and just getting people to stop for a second and pay attention is probably the biggest challenge.
I think it's good to go out and try to make a name for yourself at that grassroots level without sounding cliched, but just, I think so many, especially with things like American Idol and things like that now, I think so many people that want to do music or whatever it is just look for like the quickest route to it that's going to put them in front of the most people immediately, and I think that can be like a really big problem when you don't build up a solid foundation of people that are just, that support you because they really enjoy what you do, and not because like some big machine is telling them that this is what they should like. I think it's a more rewarding thing, and I think that leads to a longer term career, or whatever you want to call it, just longer staying power if you do it from the ground up like that, through just sheer hard work and determination, basically.
The fact that these sites have this massive power to just say what's cool or what's not cool is, I guess it's a double-edged sword, and I kind of lean towards thinking that it's a little unnerving that one thing can have so much power, at least as far as the internet goes. Like, it's harder to stay popular or stay up more so now than before, just because there's every day there's 10 new bands blowing up on the internet or something like that, and they can just take a band out of nowhere and just say, now this band is going to be huge and everyone has to like them, and that pretty much does happen.
A lot of people think they can just go into it and make money and that it's easy, but really writing a great song is not easy. Being a great performer is a lot of work. Being a great musician is a lot of work. So eventually, if you go into it just thinking you're going to make money, the reason why music touches people is because it's emotional, and that's eventually going to come back around and get you. I think that there are people who are great entertainers, but they're just great to be great entertainers, but they're not necessarily great musicians, and they're not artists. And I think that's really the critical thing, is that you want to be out there in the world as a musician, as an artist, as an entity.
I mean, it's tough to gauge a true artist or a true musician just at the face value that you experience a lot of the time. I mean, it's one thing to hear something like, oh, I like this, and not knowing that band or that person's backstory, or, who's to say what anyone's true motives are and things like that. It's just, I don't know.
I think we're either in a really exciting time for music, or really who knows where it's going to go, just because considering how people are making money, it feels like people are scrambling to figure that out.
I think it's just important to make the music that you like and what you feel is good and feel passionate about, and not get too caught up in that. I mean, because I think it just seems like with anything that happens, like a band might break out for a certain style and they'll spawn tons of copycats and things like that, but that band that broke out might not even be the true originators of it. They can just be the ones that got lucky, or the ones that got the big break or played before the right people and stuff. And so sometimes the ones that are the big focal points of that might not even be the most original ones. So it just goes back to what I was saying about not having that be your sole focus, oh no.
I think that any band that stays successful for a long time definitely does so over a short period, or over a long period of time. So it's not really about putting out your first album and having everyone love it, and it's more about having a progression of, it's a slow progression of many different steps, and I think the more patient bands are generally the ones that stick around the longest.
I've heard that labels have stopped giving out record deals as much as giving out single deals. And so that people are getting more interested in sound bites. People are talking about if the record even exists anymore, or if it even matters.
Nobody buys albums anymore. So as a single song driven market, you're only going to hear the hit songs. And what you lose in that is the true ambiance and complete work of an artist.